Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be reviewing my 3FUL Lanshan One Pro in khaki.
First of all, the tent comes in its own sil nylon compression bag with compression straps. The tent ships with a set of lightweight aluminum X-shaped pegs. I immediately replaced these for titanium V-pegs, which I also bought on AliExpress. This is a trekking pole tent, which means that once all the corners are pegged out, you simply insert the trekking pole into the center grommet, and that creates tension on the fly sheet and holds the tent up. I'm using a carbon fiber ultralight trekking pole that I also bought on AliExpress that weighs just over 100 grams. So this is the Lanshan One Pro. It's the upgraded new version of the existing tent, the Lanshan. The newer version has removed the inner mesh and replaced it with integrated vents on the fly sheet to reduce weight. This simplification has allowed them to upgrade the outer fly sheet material from a 15 denier nylon to a 20 denier nylon.
So I bought this tent on AliExpress for around about 140 euros. It took around about a month, or maybe 24 days to get here. Straightforward enough to order. The only complication I encountered is that the tent doesn't come seam sealed from the factory, so you need to either buy or make up your own silicone seam sealer and go over the seams and make sure it's waterproof. The entire tent weighs 690 grams. The outer material is a double siliconized ripstop nylon. It feels really good, feels surprisingly strong despite its lightweight, and definitely isn't the lightest weight material I've seen in an ultralight tent. Just to give you an idea of the usable space inside this tent, I've inflated a sleeping pad and I've put a quilt in there, and I'm going to get inside it. Just for reference, I'm about 6'4", so there's quite a usable amount of vestibule space here. Right now I've got a 35 litre pack here, and yeah, there's huge amounts of space. I'm just going to hop into this quilt. You could imagine moving around inside this tent after a wet night with a lot of condensation could be somewhat uncomfortable, to say the least.
So here I am inside the quilt, inside the tent. There's my feet. And if I move to the very end, you can see I have quite a lot of room here. You could also put a rain jacket over the end of your quilt or your sleeping bag to keep it dry if you wanted to. Quite a lot of space on this side. My head is just about grazing it here, but if I was to lie down flat, I don't think that'd be an issue. This being a single skin tent, condensation could definitely be an issue depending on the weather, but there's a lot of venting in here, so it's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm quite tall, so bear that in mind. I'm 6'4". I'm leaning slightly towards the center of the tent where the highest point of the tent is, and I'm quite comfortably sitting upright, which is a lot more than I can say for many tents. The risk of brushing up against the side walls of the tent and getting wet is somewhat of an inevitability with a tent like this, with walls that slope like this, but for the weight savings you get, I think it's definitely more than worth it. Right now I've got a carbon fiber trekking pole here, keeping the whole tent up. It's very lightweight, but I imagine if I was to tension down the tent a lot more, the flexing and the shaking would definitely be minimized. I've used it in mountainous environments in light wind, and it's had absolutely no issues, and it hasn't shown any signs of any kind of major problem. The underside of the tent is of the same denier as the top, actually, which is somewhat unusual. I'm quite certain that 3FUL sell a ground sheet to go underneath this if you are concerned. So that's my initial impressions and first review of the 3FUL Lanshan One Pro in khaki. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure to like, share, comment, all of the other things. Subscribe, definitely subscribe. More content like this coming your way. This is one of several products I bought off AliExpress around about 2 months ago, just as a sort of experiment to see just how good the quality of ultralight backpacking gear coming out of AliExpress actually is. So look forward to a review of a 3FUL X-Pack ultralight backpack, and also a review of the yellow quilt that I was wearing inside the tent from a company called Ice Flame. So for reviews and first impressions of all these products to come, please make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.